Go. Welcome, ladies. Welcome to day 2. Let me just make sure everybody's here. Everybody is in. All right. How's it going? I read through your introductions. Those of you who have taken the time to write a little bit about yourselves, thank you for doing that. If you haven't done that already, please go in and introduce yourself. Short thing about who you are you a mom, working, what do you do, what are your symptoms, why are you in the program, what are you hoping to achieve. Really important for you to share, really important for you to let me know where you are so that I can get to know you a little bit better, so that I can help you better when I know what's actually happening with you. And as a collective energy, right? You're in this group all together, all of you. Don't underestimate the power of being in a community of like-minded women who are in it to win it and who are ready to do anything to achieve their goals. And in this case, it's healing. In this case, it's health. You're going to find, I think I saw a post a few minutes ago. Was it Percent? I think Percent. She said something like, it's really hard because everything around you and everybody around you is making it so difficult. Yes, this is an inconvenient truth of when you try to get healthy, of when you're working on getting healthy, of when you're taking those first steps to get healthy, and everybody around you is looking at you like, they're looking at you, they're criticizing you, they're mocking you, perhaps. They're doing everything except support you for the most part. So you need this community, right? Because you're not going to find understanding and support and excitement for your new journey in your community around you, sadly. I don't know why this is. I have experienced it myself. All my clients go through it. There is a deep reason for why people don't like to see change in other people. But I mean, we could literally fill up 10 coaching calls about that. But what ends up happening, the reality is people around you, the closest people around you, your husbands, your parents, your friends, your kids, everybody is going to be, they're just going to be, let's say, shocked. They're going to be, I'm trying to find nice words here, but they're just going to be not nice at all for the most part. And it's because you are showing courage. This takes courage, right? You are showing courage where perhaps they don't have the courage. So they act out by criticizing you, telling you, it's not healthy to cut out food groups, or the doctors never advise eating this way, or you're never going to be able to keep it up. How are you going to keep living without bread and pasta and your coffee? So you're going to hear all sorts of things from people around you. So coming into this group, even if you pop into this group once a day for 10 minutes a day, just to take in the energy of everybody who's on this journey with you, and then contribute to this energy also, and then share what's going on with you. Just share an update every single day. This is going to keep you focused on what you're doing and help to sort of crowd out the noise of the people around you and the things and the people, trying to sabotage you in any way or creating a more difficult situation in any way. You come back in here, you find your safe space, you find your support, you find your guidance, you find your motivation. And then that gives you strength. It bolsters you to go out again and keep doing what you need to do for yourself. All right. So please go in and do an introduction if you haven't. As I was reading your introductions, 2 things came up for me that I feel I need to address. And one of them is key in terms of your mindset. But the other one is, because some of you have asked me, well, how is this the same program for everybody, right? Some of you here have endometriosis. Some of you have an autoimmune. Some of you have migraines. Some of you have headaches. Some of you have digestive issues. Some of you have IBS, everything. There's a million things if I take all of your symptoms collectively in this group. And the reason that we can take all of you with all of your different symptoms and give you the same meal plan and have it work is because even though there's all these, they look like completely different symptoms that have nothing to do with each other, they're all connected to one thing, which is a weak liver. And a weak liver happens from inflammatory foods. So if we just take the thread and pull at it to see, right, IBS, migraines, period pains, endometriosis, and we go back to the root cause of each one, the root cause is exactly the same. So the lady who has endometriosis and the lady who has IBS and the lady who has migraines, all of you have a weak liver. And the weak liver happened from consuming too much of the inflammatory foods, the bread, the cheese, the milk, the yogurt, too many animal proteins, too many animal fats, corn, soy, caffeine, alcohol, junk food, processed sugar, right? All of that creates a very weak liver. The liver is just key to our health. It's a key organ. And when it can't function, then based on your predisposition, based on your genetic makeup, it's going to show up in different ways. But the root cause is the same. Solving endometriosis and IBS and migraines and heavy periods and autoimmune is the same. There is going to be instances where, for example, if you have a deep autoimmune and if you've had it for many years, then I would advise you, for example, to leave out animal protein longer, right? If you have a deep condition, you know, nobody in this group, but let's say if we're looking at cancer, if we're looking at Alzheimer's, to really heal that would be vegan fruits and vegetables for a very, very long time. So there are some tweaks, but in no instance are we going to bring back the inflammatory foods. We might increase the intensity of the healing. We might slow down the intensity of the healing depending on what you have. But at the root, it's all about removing the inflammatory foods to heal whatever condition. All right. So I just want to make sure that you guys are clear on that. The other thing that I'm reading is, as you're introducing yourselves, a lot of you are writing, and I hope that I can do this. I'm going to try my best. I really think, or I really hope that this is going to work for me. Like a lot of, I hope, I wish, I will try, I want to. So today we're going to start, and you know, I'm going to talk to you about mindset a lot in this program. So I'm going to introduce you to your critter brain. Some of you might not know anything about your critter brain. You might not have ever heard of your critter brain, but it's there. Your critter brain is basically, we call it the critter brain, but it's also referred to as your mammalian brain or your primitive brain. It's that part of our brain that was the first part of our brain that we ever had, like with the primitive man, like what, 200,000 years ago. And this part of your brain, the job of this part of your brain, it doesn't process things. It's not about being intellectual, you know, it doesn't go deep into anything. It basically has one job, and that is to make sure you don't die. It's there to save you. It's the one that runs your heart. It runs your lungs and make sure that you are breathing and make sure that your heart is beating. It's, like I said, primal. So its function is very, very basic to keep you alive. So you don't even know that your critter brain is actually activated all the time, right? We're conscious when we're thinking about something, right? When we're processing a thought, we're conscious of that part of our brain, but not really conscious of this really important part of our brain that's on automatic all the time. So this critter brain, because it wants to keep you alive all the time, it hates change. It hates any kind of change, even if that change, we know that change is going to be good for you, but it hates change because it's never experienced the change. And so any kind of change, it automatically tags it as a threat, potential threat to your life. It's very scared of you doing anything that you've never done before because it can't guarantee that you're going to come out of this alive. Literally, that's how your critter brain thinks. So the critter brain is focused on three things to make sure that you don't consider change. It wants to always conserve your energy. So it doesn't want you to do anything that takes up too much work or is going to be exhausting or is going to have you, put in more effort than you're already putting. It loves that you pursue pleasure. So anything that gives you pleasure, the critter brain is going to keep making you do more of all the time. And it wants you to avoid pain. It doesn't want you to ever be uncomfortable under any situation. So when you introduce it with this idea, here, I'm going to do this detox plan, and you don't know that you're doing this, you're just, I'm going to do a detox plan, but you're communicating with your critter brain all the time. The critter brain is looking at this detox plan and thinking, okay, she's going to remove coffee, she's going to remove bread, she's going to remove cheese, she's going to remove her favorite pizza. Okay, this is not going to work. And she's going to spend all this time in the kitchen now preparing things. It goes against those three things, right? So if you're going to have to spend more time in the kitchen, you're not conserving energy, you're exerting more energy. So critter brain doesn't want that. If you are going to remove your coffee, which is a source of pleasure, then how does that fit in with the critter brain's goal of always having you pursue pleasure? It doesn't like that. If you are going to remove all the foods and you're going to go through a little bit of withdrawal symptoms where you might get headaches, you might get a little bit tired, how is that avoiding pain? Critter brain doesn't want you in pain. It doesn't want any kind of discomfort. It basically wants to keep you inside your comfort zone. And that's just how it functions. Like, we can't change how the critter brain functions. What we can change are the messages that we give the critter brain. So here's how the critter brain is going to stop you. And it's already been trying to stop you from doing this. It's going to tell you things like, this is too hard, or this is not sustainable. Or, you know what, I don't think you can do this. I don't think you can live for the next month without your coffee. You know what, I don't think your husband's really supporting you with this. I mean, look at, he's already criticizing. So what are you going to do? You're going to wake up every day and have to listen to him criticizing you, or your kids making fun of you? Like, I don't think this is a good idea. This is too much. Like, look at all the reading that Dana has given you to do. She wants you to read. She wants you to show up on Zoom. She wants you to post on the group, and she wants you to do all these things. Like, this is too much work. I don't think you should be doing this. So how many of you have had these thoughts in the past 2 days? Any combination of these thoughts that I'm talking about. This is going to be too hard. There's no way that I can sustain this. This is too much reading. I'm confused. I'm lost. How am I going to get through this? Right? Put your hand up if you've had any combination of these thoughts in the past 2 days. My husband is not going to help me. My kids are going to make fun of me. What am I going to do on Friday, right? Friday is a family day. It's a family lunch day. How am I going to go to Friday lunch? How am I going to go on the weekend out with my friends? Will I never be able to go out with my friends? Any one of those thoughts is a critter brain trying to get in your head. He's already in your head, but he's trying to prevent you. What else? Let me check with my doctor. What if this actually makes my autoimmune worse? Like, any one of those is your critter brain trying really, really, really hard to prevent you from doing this. It's supposed to do that. Critter brain will always do that for the rest of your life. It's always, anytime you decide to make a change, even if that change is good for you, whether now or in 6 months or in 5 years or in 10 years. And maybe you can think back now to any time you've ever tried to make a change and you didn't, or anytime you're in the middle of doing something important for yourself and you're making progress and then you stopped, right? The critter brain is continuously trying to sabotage us from progress because it's afraid that this is going to harm us in the end. So the only way to get through to the critter brain is to overrun the critter brain, is to just say, you know what, critter brain, you're right. This is going to be challenging. They are going to make fun of me. I am going to have to probably take a break from going out for dinners for a little while, but I'm going to do it. And here's what I'm going to do. You wake up and you do it. You wake up and you make your lemon water and your celery juice and your berry smoothie, and you prove to the critter brain that you're not going to die without your coffee. And then here's the thing about all these thoughts we keep having in all the thoughts that we have at any time is we believe them to be the truth, right? So when your critter brain tells you, you can't function without coffee, we just believe it. Like, oh, maybe, well, yeah, that's true. How can I function without coffee? But we know that there are plenty of people who function without coffee, plenty of people who don't eat bread or pasta anymore. And guess what? They're all alive and they're functioning incredibly well, even better than when they were consuming these foods. So this is something that takes practice, and we're going to get into this, and I'm going to show you a very specific exercise in order to work on understanding your thoughts and changing them, but that's going to come later. It takes time. So for today, I just want you to take stock. Take stock of how already your critter brain is sabotaged. You haven't even done anything. You haven't even started the meal plan, right? And the critter brain is already trying to stop you from getting to Thursday, from getting to the day when you're going to, give up all the pleasurable things, potentially be in pain, and be exerting all this effort into this program. So awareness is key, because I can give you the best meal plan in the world. You can have the most incredible reading material. You can have the support, and you can have the community, which are all amazing. But at the end of the day, the thing that's going to give you results in any area of your life is your mindset. Is your mindset on board, or is your mindset trying to sabotage and you don't realize it's trying to sabotage, and so you let it sabotage. And that's why when I say excitement, stay excited, that's pleasure, right? That's gonna echo in your critter brain as pleasure. When you're excited, the critter brain really can't object to when you're excited about something. So keep the excitement up, keep the energy up. That's one of the ways that you are going to convince your critter brain that whatever you're doing is not dangerous. On the contrary, you can't wait to do it. Does that make sense, ladies? Does anybody have any questions about that? Riham and Sally and Abid, you have your hands up. Is that for a question, or is that when you were telling me that?
No, I have feedback
Okay,
on what you say.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been, there's an idea from yesterday only coming to me. What about my prescribed vitamin D and calcium? I didn't have this before. And I got a bit concerned whether I'm going to be able to have the natural way and it would be good enough. And I have another thing also popping up because I started stopping the coffee completely and my green tea, that I have low blood pressure. I didn't realize that without my coffee, I really have low blood pressure. I measured it today, you know.
Okay.
I feel really, you know, I woke like 10, an hour and a half, and today I made half of my walk.
Okay.
So it's affecting me.
So these are perfect examples. And let me just answer your specific concerns. The reason, so blood pressure, remember I said yesterday, it's related to your kidneys, and it's related specifically to your adrenal glands. Like if you put your hands on your waist like this, all of you, and see where your thumbs hit on the back of your waist, that's where your kidneys are. And on top of your kidneys, you have something called adrenal glands. And your adrenal glands are the ones that produce and pump adrenaline and cortisol and some other hormones. All right. Cortisol is your stress hormone. And when cortisol is high, this is when we see high blood pressure. And cortisol is highest in the morning. And when you drink coffee in the morning, it's going to raise your cortisol even more. All right. So when you take away the coffee, naturally cortisol is going to come down because you're not causing it to spike. So it's going to take some time for you for it to balance where it's not too low and not too high. But this is it again, as you start to learn and listen to the signals your body's giving you, the body always knows best. It's basically recalibrating down from really high cortisol level in the morning caused by the coffee. But look at what your critter brain is doing, is trying to convince you that this is a bad thing. Right, it's trying to convince you that this recalibration that your body's trying to go through, and the recalibration that our bodies have to go through takes a lot of time, right? But it's already trying to tell you, look what's happening already. This is not good for you. So that's a perfect example of that. Thank you for sharing, Sally.
Thank you, but it's good. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm saying, how is Dana going to give me something to raise my natural thing?
This is so right now, until we start the eating plan, you're going to find your blood pressure might be going like this a little bit, right? Because we're getting to the root cause, and the root cause of blood pressure instability is caused by inflammatory foods. Again, it's the same thing. It's a root cause. All right. So high blood pressure, blood sugar imbalances, all of those take a little bit of time to balance. It's not going to be like, oh, just because I stopped coffee, or just because I stopped bread on Thursday, or just because I stopped cheese, then I'm going to see my blood pressure come back to perfect, or I'm going to see my blood sugar levels come back to perfect. Whatever it is has been going on in your body has been happening for years, I'm assuming. So we just need to manage our expectations a little bit. Something that you've been dealing with, especially some of you who have been taking medications for years, it's not going to completely heal in 21 days. I have seen some people completely come off medications in 21 days, but they're not the majority. The majority, especially when there's medication and deep issues, takes at least 3 to 6 months. So be patient. And in those 3 to 6 months, remember I said yesterday, healing it's not a linear process. It's a little bit forward and a little bit backward. But as long as you're following the process, that's all you need to focus on. All right. Nuran, go ahead.
Hello. Okay, so I'm feverish and I have bad cough, and I don't want to take my antibiotics. I don't like taking meds that much anyway. But I was wondering if there is something I can do to naturally lose the fever and the headaches and the cough.
Okay, salamtek. Let me ask you, have you started removing any of the foods, or this is just, you just woke up yesterday or today?
No, actually the past 2 weeks I've been started removing bread and rice and pasta.
Okay.
But I think I caught a cold. Yeah.
Okay, so let me talk a bit about what it looks like when when the body has to detox. So right now, all of you join this program with the intention of detoxing your body, right? You're intentionally going to remove the inflammatory foods so that you can clear out your body and become a healthier version of you. When you do that, when you intentionally do it, you're going to trigger what are referred to as detox withdrawal symptoms. And these will start for most of you on Thursday, once you actually remove coffee and all the foods and everything. And detox withdrawal symptoms they can look like the cold. They can look like the flu.
Okay.
You can get a runny nose, you can get a fever, you can get headaches, you can be really, really sleepy, you can get body aches, you can feel like you just have to stay in bed all day, you can be a little bit irritable, you can be cranky. All of those are signs of the body releasing toxicity. So that happens when you intentionally do it, like this program, but also when, let's say you're not detoxing at all, you're eating everything and you're going about your life normally, and then what we call catching a cold. This is actually nothing more than the body automatically getting rid of some kind of a toxin that your body has accumulated, right? So the toxin can be, maybe if just without you knowing, you've been eating bread and cheese and junk and coffee and all of this for so long, and then your body just naturally is like, I can't take this anymore. So it goes into a state of its own detoxification, and we think we're getting sick. You get the same symptoms. It could be that you caught some kind of a virus. A virus is a toxin, so the body has to go through the same process to eliminate it. So it's really important to start to realize that the body doesn't ever get sick. The body doesn't get sick. Right now, in your state of having a fever, body aches, headaches, that is not the body being sick. On the contrary, that's the body working really hard to eliminate either a virus, which is like, it's like a external pathogen, like it doesn't belong in the body, so the body has to get rid of it, or when we're detoxing and the body is like intentionally removing toxins from the body. And neither one of those states is the body actually sick or weak. Your body's actually working really hard. So when you cough, if you have a runny nose, if you even expectorate, like mucus is, your body collects toxins in mucus and then releases it. So runny nose is good. Coughing up is good. Anytime that we take what we call over-the-counter medications, so like Tylenol, Panadol, any flu medication, what you actually do is you interfere with the body's natural process. The body knows how to heal. And then we take the medication and we think we feel better, but all you've done is you've just suppressed the symptoms. You've just basically like put like a muzzle on the symptoms so that the symptoms don't come out, but they're all there. And then what happens if you do this, like if you're prone to getting ill a lot, or if you have kids who are always getting colds, right? The more you do this and the more you take over-the-counter medication to suppress the symptoms, then they have to come out again at a later time because you haven't let them release and come out all the way. So when we feel like this, yes, it's uncomfortable. Yeah, nobody said that having the flu is comfortable. It's uncomfortable, but you have to keep reminding yourself like, wow, my body's working really hard. So a fever is just, imagine your body's like an engine and it's working overtime for you. So it heats up. So the fever is not a sign that your body's weak. A fever is a sign that your body's working really hard to eliminate something that's not serving you. Like the body's like, oh my God, there's something in here that I have to get rid of. So what we do in these cases, whether it's you think you caught something or whether when we get into the detox withdrawal symptoms, is work with your body, work with it. Lots of rest, lots of liquids, I sent in your email today and in your guide, lavender and peppermint essential oils to give you some relief from the clogged nose, from the headaches. These are amazing, amazing natural remedies. Lots of vitamin C, lots of liquid zinc. These are great. If you want, Nuran, like message me on the group, remind me, and I'll give you like a remedy mix of like vitamin C and zinc. So just remind me, put it on the group and I'll put it in there for you. So, and get the lavender and get the peppermint. These are, unlike medications, you can use them as much as you want. And what you do is you want to get some coconut oil, and you want to get the peppermint oil, and you want to get the lavender oil. Put a little bit of coconut oil in your palm, because you never use essential oils on your skin, directly on your skin. You always have to mix them with another oil. Put the coconut oil, put 2 drops of the peppermint oil, put 2 drops of the lavender oil, mix it, and then you can apply this all over your forehead, like right here if your nose is clogged, over here on your throat, down here on your chest, back of your head, and just relax and breathe them in. And then when the effect wears off, you can keep repeating it. So it's not like medicine where you have to wait a certain number of hours in between. You can literally use it as much as you want. And as much as you can rest, your body is asking you to rest. It's working really hard. So in return, it's asking you to take a break while it does its job. All right?
Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Anybody else have any questions about anything, ladies? We are still in the prep phase from until Wednesday. You're not following any meal plan. Starting Thursday, we are going to gently ease your livers into the detox. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you're going to remove that whole list of inflammatory foods. You're going to keep a little bit of animal protein, a little bit of the legumes and beans if you want. That's all you need to focus on right now, is those 3 days. And in those 3 days, there's more flexibility in the plan. So that means for lunch and dinner on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you get to choose your own recipes from the Clean Eating Guide. So go in there and choose what you want for lunch and dinner for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You can choose the same recipe for lunch and dinner for all 3 days. You don't have to make a different recipe for lunch and dinner, and then lunch and dinner, and then lunch and dinner, unless you want to, by all means. But if it's going to save you time and if it's going to make this process work better for you, then by all means, go through the recipes, look at the one that looks the most appealing to you, and look at the one that looks like, well, I can whip this up relatively quickly, and repeat that for the 3 days. Absolutely no problem there. Just focus on those 3 days. And then when we get to those 3 days, we'll focus on the 3 days that come after that. All right. Iman, go ahead.
Hi, firstly,
Hi.
I just wanted to thank you, but I have an inquiry. I usually take vitamin D and magnesium because I have thyroid and parathyroid problems. Should I stop them in this 21 days? It's prescribed by doctor?
Yes.
And
yes. So any vitamins, you're going to stop them for the 9 days, the 9 days of the deep detox. Okay. Remove, because the vitamins, everybody's taking are filled with additives and chemicals and all of that. And we're trying to completely remove that load off the liver, at least in those 9 days. We are going to get into vitamins in week 3. So I'll be explaining to you the best kind of vitamins to take and the best brands to take. So, but for the 9 days, yes, no vitamins.
the first 9 days.
And when it comes to thyroid, Iman, I mean, those vitamins are maybe helping a little bit, but we know with thyroid, the root is nutrition, right? So if you have been up until this point eating bread, any kind of dairy, milk, yogurt, cheese, pasta, grains also for thyroid, like rice, fool, coffee, you know, anything, and you're taking your vitamins, I hate to break it to you, they weren't doing anything. Right. So the root, like for us to get to in order for you to start to reduce and reverse your thyroid condition, which is 100% possible, it has to start with the food first. All right. And then we look at the supplements that can support the thyroid. But for now, remove them for the 9 days.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I usually don't eat all the above, but I'm coffee addicted.
Oh, okay.
That's the true challenge for me.
It's good. It's really important because I asked you in a post, I think it was yesterday or this morning, like, what is the hardest thing for you in your mind right now, right? And it's just the mindset, right? And it's your critter brain trying to get you to try to sabotage you from the process. But we know, because if one person can do it, then anybody can do it. And we know that there are thousands, maybe millions of people who have stopped drinking coffee and they're only better for it. So remind yourself of that every time the critter brain tries to talk you out of stopping your coffee.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Lubna, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, you by the 9 days, you don't mean the first 9 days. You mean the 9 days from the day to the 8th day, right? Or from the 5th
Thursday,
day?
yes, exactly. Yeah, so not
Oh, so it's from Thursday, starting
Thursday.
Thursday?
From Thursday.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Dina.
Okay, so I have my first question is today that I'm not a breakfast person. So usually I skip breakfast and I just eat lunch directly around 2 p.m.
Okay.
So I noted that all of the meals have a breakfast that is strictly around 8 a.m. or something. So this is my first question. Can I skip it or not? Noting that I wake up around 5:30 a.m. and I have to take the Euthyrox because I have the thyroid. So, and I usually stay around 3 hours not eating. Then I got used to not eating until 1 p.m. Maybe I can take the lemon water. It's fine for me. But I mean like eating, like drinking smoothies or that kind of meals. So, and my second question is regarding Euthyrox. Okay, it's fine for me to stop the vitamins, but because of course with the autoimmune I have prescribed a lot of vitamins. So but I don't think you mean also the Euthyrox to be
No.
I think okay.
No.
So
only vitamins and supplements, not prescribed medication. So not prescribed medication. You keep the prescribed medication.
Okay, so that brings us back to the breakfast point, and the last point is if we do I have to cook everything? So like fish or something, if I didn't have time, can I go buy it from any fish market out there? Someone who will cook it up for us, or I have to cook it myself?
All right.
That's
Let me answer your first question about breakfast. Yes, you have to have breakfast. One of the reasons the body becomes weak and the liver becomes weak is either not enough fuel, which is food, or the improper food. So both can weaken the liver. Both are going to weaken its ability to function. And when you're looking at thyroid, that is directly connected to your thyroid because those hormones are converted inside the liver. And then the other thing that happens when you don't eat in the morning, you don't eat the right foods, right, is your cortisol levels, everybody's cortisol levels are highest in the morning. And that's because the morning time is when we wake up and we have so many things to do and we have to get the day started. You need that push of cortisol to get you going. If you don't eat, though, the body tags that as an emergency. The body's not getting fuel. So what it's going to do, whenever the body feels there's an emergency going on, it pumps more cortisol because cortisol is what we call your stress hormone. It's there to help you deal with stressful situations, whether that is an external trigger in your life, you have an argument, you have a work deadline, something difficult is happening in your life, you have a lot of stress in your life. Cortisol is there to help you manage, but cortisol is also there to deal with internal stress that you don't see, that you don't know about is even happening. And one of the internal stress triggers is lack of fuel or taking in the wrong fuel. So if you're somebody who does intermittent fasting, this causes a spike in cortisol. If you're someone who, like everybody, eats all the inflammatory foods, this is going to keep cortisol high because it means every single meal, it's trying to deal with the intake of the inflammatory foods. Or if you're not eating, then every single time that the body's waiting for fuel and it doesn't get it, well, guess who has to compensate for the lack of fuel in your body? Cortisol, which keeps your cortisol levels high. And when you have a thyroid condition, this just loops into the thyroid and keeps you in a vicious cycle, and then you can't heal. So absolutely necessary that you have your lemon water, your celery juice, and your berry smoothie. It's fine for you to wait 3 hours after your medication, that's not a problem. But this is part of the healing process. Like the liver is waiting in the morning for the right fuel. It's waiting. It's like a car waiting for the right gasoline. If you don't give it gasoline, how's it going to function? Or if you give it the wrong gasoline, it's going to malfunction. So eating the meals that I have laid out in the plan, like there's no wiggle room there. There's no wiggle room. You have to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and the snacks that come later on. It's part of how you're rebuilding your body. If our livers are weak, then our body has broken down to an extent, and it's broken down because you have symptoms, because you have a condition. Whatever symptom or condition any of you have is a sign that something is malfunctioning or something has broken down in your body. It's not your fault, right? Unfortunately, we all sort of came with the wrong set of instructions about how to take care of our body, but now you're getting instructions on how to start to rebuild and heal your body. And if that means you start to eat breakfast when you didn't used to have breakfast, then that's what you do. It's part of the prescription. All right.
Okay, thanks. And for the part where
okay, the only issue I have with that is when you buy food from outside, most of the time they have added seed oils to it, which are corn oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, any of those oils. Every single restaurant out there, because it's a much cheaper oil to use than olive oil and all of that. If you can guarantee that you're going to get your fish without anything added, and then they also add hidden sugars. There's also added, gluten. There's like all sorts of hidden things you don't see. So my only advice would be like, if you could absolutely guarantee that you're just getting a piece of fish that has nothing on it, for example, then yes, that's okay.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Abir.
Hi, Dana.
Hi.
Actually, you answered all the questions. I'm just excited.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for being excited. Wonderful.
Everything is clear. Thank you.
Perfect. Pasant.
Hi, Dana. I wanted to ask about sparkling water. I drink sparkling water. Is this good, like normal water or not?
No. The gases upset the digestive system. No sparkling water.
Okay. And what would you recommend as a replacement for the morning coffee? Later on, after the detox, I'm trying
like I said, after the detox, you can try. So after the 28 days, try if you want. If you feel like you still want to try the coffee and see. And if it works, you can keep your 1 cup of coffee. Otherwise, any herbal tea, right? Any chamomile, peppermint, anything. But let's wait until we get there.
Okay.
All right. Manel, go ahead.
Hi, Dana.
Hi.
I'm a breakfast person. That's fine, but I fast Mondays and Thursdays. So will I postpone my breakfast till sunset and squeeze the meals, or will I skip something? How can I do it Mondays?
Here's what you do. You're basically going to reverse your day, right? So basically,
yes.
Iftar time, this is when you're going to have your lemon water and celery juice and berry smoothie. All right. And then between Iftar time and Suhoor time is basically, you're just going to follow the schedule, but you're just going to follow it in reverse. That's all. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. That's
Okay.
great. Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Mona. Mona?
Hi, Dana. Sorry, I was mute.
Hi. It's okay.
Hi, it's my first Zoom meeting. I'm so excited that I got to know you and all the lovely ladies. And thank you, Lubna, for introducing Dana through the Facebook group. I'm really excited for this new experience for me. I just have a fear of one supplement that I take as it helps me to concentrate at work.
Mm-hmm.
It's Ginkgo. I take one each day in the morning. So can I continue with taking the ginkgo? And the other thing that somehow I heard that an apple before 8 o'clock in the morning can work as a coffee, as a cup of coffee. So is it true or not? I don't know. I'm not sure. It has something to do with the cortisol hormone.
I mean, well, here's what you're doing. An apple is a fruit, right? And any fruit in the morning is going to lower cortisol. That's why we're doing the berry smoothie, right? So you're going to do the berry smoothie, follow that process, and then you're going to have plenty of apples. When we get into the starting Sunday, after the 3 days, when you get into the deeper part of the detox, you're going to be having quite a few apples per day. So that's going to be fine. It's going to do that work for you then. In terms of your supplement, if you, again, let's always look at the root cause. So what is the supplement trying to fix? We want to fix at the root cause so that we don't need a supplement. So if you have issues with concentration or brain fog, right, that's being caused by something else. We want to fix that. And then if you still need the supplement, then no problem, take it. So remove it for those 9 days. There's not going to be anything like earth shattering. This goes for all of you when you remove your supplements for 9 days in terms of the effects of the supplement. In terms of how that's going to benefit your liver though, that the effects of that will be earth shattering. You really need to give your liver a break. So once the 9 days are over, you can bring it back. And then you might be surprised 9 days in, 20 days in, 21 days in, that you might not need it. Like your concentration comes back normally, your brain fog lifts, and you can focus and you can do your work without having to need the supplement. So always keep yourself open to all the possibilities. All right. If you still have your hand up, but you don't need it to be up because you've already asked your question, can you please put it down just so I don't get confused? And Hiba, I'm guessing. Hiba, that's Habhuba?
Yes. Hi, Dana. How are you? Thank you so much for your efforts.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to ask, I cannot help but ask about weight loss a long way. Is it like, definitely weight loss is an incentive.
Right.
I know it's all about healing, but it's weight loss like a byproduct of what we're doing?
Yes, exactly. It is a byproduct. The weight loss, when we see stubborn weight loss, right? Or when we see like stagnant weight loss, it's because, again, goes back to the liver. If your liver is clogged, okay, if it can't filter out your hormones, if it can't filter out food, if it can't filter period, and you end up with something like constipation. So even constipation, we go back, the root is the liver, then weight loss is going to be slow. It won't happen until we literally, like, imagine your liver is like the cork, like on a bottle, right? And there's like a lot of pressure building up underneath it. We need sort of the pressure to build and for that cork to like pop, and then everything pours out. That's when weight loss can happen. So when you're going through a process like this one, it can be slower, but only slower relative to what everybody's used to, right? Everybody's sort of used to going to a nutritionist or a dietitian who tells them like losing 2 kilos a week is normal, right? Some dietitians will, give you diets where you lose even more than that. That's not healthy and that's not sustainable, and that can shock the body and shock the liver. So 2 kilos a week is very, 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 very fast and never something that I recommend. So if any of you are used to something like that and you would like to see weight loss also on this program, the weight loss will be slower, but that's just how weight loss is supposed to be. Anything else you've done before was an exaggerated form of weight loss. So don't panic when it's slow and wait for it, because a lot of times what will happen with this program is women will go through a whole month and not see any weight loss. Like I said, there's like that pressure underneath the cork. And then all of a sudden at the end of the month, they'll see the number on the scale change. But like I always say, weight loss, like you said, can be an incentive. But when you're looking at your future self for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years, for the next 20 years, if the only thing that we are still focused on is the number on the scale, then you risk in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, risk finding yourself with all of the conditions you have now, all of the symptoms you have now, and maybe plus more. So the focus moving forward needs to be on something deeper. It needs to be on, if you have a condition, then reducing and reversing your condition, potentially coming off of medications. If you don't have, if you're not on medication, but you have some of these smaller, milder symptoms, if those are not addressed now, if we ignore them, then they just sort of pile up so that in 5-10 years, all of a sudden you wake up with a condition. So weight loss will happen. But what I've also found is that when you are focused on weight loss, it doesn't happen. Like if you jump on the scale every single day and it's not happening, right? Like you get what we have a saying in coaching, like you get what you focus on. So if the focus is on, I have to lose weight, I have to lose weight, I'm not losing weight, I'm not losing weight, it doesn't happen. It goes back to mindset again. So this is a lifelong journey, right? It's not something you're doing just for the 21 days. So let yourself enjoy the process. Let yourself gauge your progress by your symptoms instead of the numbers on a scale for a change. And then of course, those of you who are really ready to take the plunge, like I threw out my scale 5 years ago. I have no idea how much I weigh. I don't even have a scale at home. You want to do that and like just go all out and see what happens, like just remove the pressure of having a scale completely. Definitely, I invite you all to do that too.
I will do that. And thanks a lot for the valuable information of the Critter Brain. I will definitely look into it a little bit more.
Yeah, do
online.
that. Yeah,
it's peaceful. Yes, this is a very, very good piece of information. Thank you.
You're welcome. Shaima.
Hi, Dana. Hi, ladies. I wanted to ask you, during the days from day 8 till the 13th, can I just eat the vegetables during lunch and the salad on dinner time? Or do I have to eat both at the same time?
So Shaima's here for the second month in a row. So my answer for her is going to be different than my answer for you guys. Because she's done this process before, she gets a little bit more flexibility. So yes, Shaima, for you, if this time around and you've cycled through it, if you want to see if that will help improve your bloating or make the bloating a little bit less, then by all means do that. For everybody else, no, that doesn't apply to you. You have to have your vegetables and your salad at lunch and at dinner.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Lubna, you have another question?
Yes, I do. We have a tiny group of ladies just helping each other and supporting each other. And yesterday there was a confusion in the group because we were looking at the eating guide or the meal plan. Mm-hmm. And then it says that you'll find each recipe included under each day, mm-hmm. but you can use recipes from the clean eating guide.
Right.
When we went into the clean eating guide, we found that we have like olive oil. It was different. So we were a little bit confused. Should we stick to the exact meal plan that you outlined in the first 5 days or the first 9 days? Or we can use, because again, it says that you can use, if you don't have, I will not say determination, but you can use the hybrid clean, I think I got it right, the hybrid plan.
Yep.
So this created a lot of confusion.
I can see why. No, the hybrid plan, don't even look at the hybrid plan now at all. That doesn't come in until later. All right. You have your eating schedule, follow that. The eating schedule has the recipes starting from Sunday, which is day 8. Okay, which is when you don't have any flexibility with choosing meals, you just have to eat those recipes. The first 3 days, which is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you have the breakfast, you follow the breakfast, and then where it says you have the option to choose is lunch and dinner for those 3 days only, and you choose it from the clean eating guide. Any recipe from the clean eating guide. That's it. But when you're following the eating schedule, you're going to get to day 8, which is Sunday. Starting day 8, you leave even the clean eating guide alone. You don't even look at that. You just follow the recipes that are laid out for you in the eating schedule. That's it. So you only need the clean eating guide in the first 3 days from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, to choose the recipes from there. That's the only time you're going to refer to the clean eating guide. Starting Sunday, which is day 8, the recipes are there for you in order in the eating schedule. You follow that and nothing else.
Perfect. And as agreed with the olive oil, because I don't want to stop the olive oil, but I stopped taking it first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
I will take it after the Zoom meeting. Am I on the right track here?
No, I mean, you mean you just take it like this with a spoon?
Yes, I take it. I
No.
take 2 spoons.
No, so I would stop that.
With or without lemon juice.
Okay, no, I would stop that. Don't do that. You're going to get olive oil in the plan incorporated into your meals. Do not take olive oil just like that by spoon. There's no reason to do that. And that is like pure, even though it's good fat, but that's pure fat going straight to your liver, clogging your liver. No.
Okay, because a friend of mine was just asking me yesterday, she said, I started taking the olive oil first thing in the morning, and she noticed a steady increase in weight. So after we had our Zoom meeting yesterday, I told her, well, yeah, it's obviously pure fat that's going right through to your fat reservoir, and that's why you've been gaining weight.
Yeah. It's clogging the liver. It's what it's doing. It clogs the liver, right? So, and two tablespoons already is too much. So even when we get into our eating pattern, 1 tablespoon of olive oil maximum per day is, and given that the rest of sort of your fat intake during the day is minimal, that would be the maximum amount. And then if we find, for example, that you're doing that 1 tablespoon between your salad and between your food, and that weight loss is still slow, then I would cut back on the olive oil some more, even though it's good for you. But it all depends on, I mean, how olive oil is going to work or not work for you. Again, goes back to each person's individual liver. But generally speaking, it's not recommended to just consume it by a spoonful like that.
Okay, so just as a dressing, or if you're cooking with it, we will stick to 1 tablespoon. Again, after following your recipes.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. Sally, do you have another question?
Yes, please. I just remembered my moringa tea. I bought it yesterday. I'm not sure if I can use it.
No, that's okay. That's an herbal tea. That's all right. That's all right. Okay. But here's the thing with all the herbal teas. When you get into the program and you have your lemon balm tea and you have hibiscus and all of that, you want to make sure that you're drinking those. Like you're not going to use your moringa instead of the teas on the plan, right? So you make sure that you're following the plan, you're drinking the tea on the plan, and then if you have additional teas you want to bring in, no problem.
Okay. And about the primrose, I used to take it regularly for every day, and I stopped it. Do you think it would affect my hormone?
No.
Drastically?
No.
Okay.
Again, we need to get to the root. We need to get deeper than what the supplements are doing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hiba, do you have another question for me?
Yes, please. Do you prefer a certain kind of water brand? You know, in Egypt, we have a lot. And what I understand, the content of the water, it differs from salt content to minerals. So do you prefer something, because water is an essential part of the diet?
Here's like a really horrible truth. They're all the same. They're all the same, and none of them are really any better than anything. The best kind of water would be filtered water, and the best filter is a Berkey filter. But in terms of bottled water, they're all the same. They might say different things, they might market themselves differently, but they're all the same, and they're not honestly beyond having removed like dirt and sediment, they're not that much better than tap water either. They really aren't. So if you are looking for high quality, and I buy bottled water all the time. I'm still too lazy to get a filter for my house. So I mean, I'm in this with you. So any bottled water is the same. They're all, you don't have to like worry about picking the best one. If you are ready to take that step and to get a filter, then the best one would be Berkey.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hang on, ladies. I see a few questions in the Q&A. Mona, can you please write the name of which part of the brain that challenge change? You mean the critter brain? Mona, is that what is she here? Is she still here? I can't tell if she's here, if she left. Mona, you mean the critter brain? Should I write it for you here? Let's see. Wait, where can I write the answer? In the chat. Let me know if you see that. Okay, and Nahid, I am leaving abroad on next Wednesday for 5 days, so I have to eat only raw vegetables and fruits and grilled chicken and meat to be in a safe side of Sharia. So Wednesday, as in after tomorrow, or the Wednesday that's after, Nahid? Can you let me know which Wednesday? بعد بكرة or the one that's after? And Nora, is there anything to expect in terms of bowel movement changes in the first 9 days? Yes. So in terms of bowel movement, and I'm going to talk about that on the group, you can definitely expect changes. There's no way to know which way it's going to change for you. You might get constipated after having regular. You might become regular after being constipated. There's a shifting that's happening inside. So this is one of those things where I need you to keep me posted. If you get constipated and it's like 2 days of constipation, let me know. If you end up with like massive diarrhea, don't worry about that. That's just, again, the way the body eliminates. So you could have loose stools or diarrhea for like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. That's just actually, you're kind of lucky if that happens to you. It means you've like opened a faucet and it's just like letting everything out, nothing to worry about. But keep me posted. You're going to see, I'm going to post on the group. There's different types of poop types, different types of stool types, so that you can identify which one is happening for you. And there's better ones and there's not so good ones. And then we can take it from there. Nahid, go ahead. Yes. Which Wednesday are you leaving?
Hi, Dana. This week, this Wednesday, inshallah.
بعد بكرة.
The coming Wednesday, yeah, the coming Wednesday, yeah.
Okay, and for 5 days, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I'll be back on Saturday.
Back on Saturday. Okay, so then perfect. So then basically what you're going to be doing is, like you said, fruits, vegetables, animal protein. Perfect. That's what you do.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Mary Ann.
Hi.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. I'm sorry. Hi, Dana.
Hi.
Okay, a couple of questions. I just was typing it out, that's why. I tend to drink fresh ginger tea, so it's just basically fresh ginger boiled, and I have that twice a day, usually in the morning and night. I presume that is okay?
Perfectly fine.
Okay, my blood pressure tends to be naturally on the low side.
Okay.
So is that okay still?
No, in terms of what?
Because I've read that ginger can reduce blood pressure, and mine is already naturally on the low side.
But you've been drinking the ginger tea for how long?
Forever, for a long time.
Well, this then might be a very interesting time for you to stop it and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'm just used to having a warm drink. So can I switch to maybe peppermint, fresh peppermint leaves?
Well, the lemon water that you have in the morning, you can make that warm too.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep,
fair enough.
Yeah, the lemon water can be warm or room temperature. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Does lemon, my only concern with lemon, can it cause ulcer or give you some type of digestion issue?
No, lemons are acidic, but as soon as they enter your body, they turn alkaline. So lemons never cause ulcers. None of these things cause ulcers. Ulcers are caused by inflammatory acidic foods that go into your body and stay acidic and turn acidic and damage the internal lining of your digestive system. There's no fruit or vegetable that can ever harm or create a symptom in the body. Never. It happens. You don't get sick from foods that, that have not had any human interference in them, right? Plain fruits and vegetables. We get sick from foods that have had human intervention. Anything that has been processed by man, created by man, put in a supermarket by man, made in a factory by man. Those are all the foods that give you issues, not God-made natural foods.
Okay, fair enough. And then 2 more questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I am not strictly vegan, but I would like to consider alternatives than the, so do you have options for that? And the days that we're allowed to eat the, what was it, the poultry or the meat?
Oh, so you don't want to eat animal protein Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
that's
concerned
fine.
about-
And
yeah.
you can just make, there are options in the clean eating guide that don't have animal protein. Or you can just have a salad or the vegetables or whatever it is without having an animal protein portion. Yeah, you can do that.
Is tofu an option?
No, not tofu and no soy products.
So no soy products. So if I use like yeah, the alternative meat, then I need to check if it has soy.
And don't use alternative meat. Don't use any fake meat ever. So Beyond Meat, Beyond Burger, all of that. No,
Wow.
no, nothing. If you're gonna be vegan, then you're gonna be just fruits and vegetables. That's it. Vegan.
Oh, so you're doing raw vegan.
Yeah. The Beyond Meat, that fake meat is one of the worst things you could put in your body.
Get out.
Oh, one of the worst things you can put in your body.
That's terrible
It's
to
like
hear.
created in a lab. It's like a lab. It's like a lab experiment, and then they give it to people to eat. Do not eat fake meat. No, either you eat
Okay.
meat or you don't eat meat, but
Or
don't
you
eat fake-
don't.
don't eat fake meat.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you. And then the last question is just to confirm, so we're not on any detox at the moment. This is just kind of gearing up, right?
Exactly. Gearing up, getting ready, and we start on Thursday.
Thursday is our start date.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I just see a few more questions coming up in the Q&A. Let me get those. Amen. Do we have a WhatsApp group for participants to support and exchange experience in shopping and suffering? I don't have a WhatsApp group. I don't know, Lubna, you were saying you have a group. Is that a WhatsApp group? I don't know if that it is or not, but your support group is.
Yes, it is.
Right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'll fill in after you finish. I'm sorry.
Your support group is the Facebook group. That's why we have the Facebook group, right? So my only concern with WhatsApp groups is if my only concern with that is any kind of misinformation being shared, right? So if you ever have a question about something or concern about something, Facebook group where you get the answer from me is your best place to do that. All right. Riham, I'm used to taking laxatives. Shall I stop? Yes, please. Because when you're taking a laxative, you have trained your body, you have trained your colon that it can't go without the laxative. So it becomes super lazy and it stops working and it stops trying. So we want to and again, doesn't get to the root cause of why you're taking the laxative to start with. You're taking the laxative because there is a clog in your liver, a clog in your digestive system. Even if you think that constipation is something you've had all your life, even if you think if constipation is something that runs in your family, it doesn't. What runs in your family are the eating patterns that lead to constipation. So we are getting again to the root cause. We're changing how you're eating. And in order for you to retrain your colon, retrain your body to be able to go to the bathroom naturally, you have to remove the laxatives. All right. Iman, I eat ice. Should I stop? You mean like you just crunch on ice? Iman, is that what you mean? I mean, if you do that, I don't see why you should stop. You can keep eating ice. It's just water.
I eat ice. I crunch it for مثلا 5 times per day.
Okay. All right. You can do that. That's okay. That's fine. It's just ice. It's just water. It's just another form of water.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Marianne, any of you on ashwagandha? We're going to get to ashwagandha. We're going to get to adaptogens in week 3. So be patient on that. If you're using it for now, remove it. We are going to talk about all of that in week 3. Lubna, you have another question?
No, I'm just saying that we were just a group of ladies who joined the program. That's why we have this small mini support group on WhatsApp. Yeah. We don't exchange any information. It's just that we're supporting each other, telling each other where to find stuff, explaining things like, for example, when we were confused yesterday about the hybrid plan, that's why we asked that sort of thing. It's nothing. I mean, it's not a formal group or anything. It's just a support group of friends. That's all.
Which is fine. The more support that you can get, the most. Like I said, I just want to make sure that like nothing gets lost in translation. So come in to the Facebook group with all your like important questions, and then use that group for like, you know, outside like support, like motivation, things like that.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're doing. We're not sharing any information. I mean, we're not saying anything in that group out of the program.
Okay.
On the contrary, it brings up very interesting ideas and questions. That's all.
Okay.
Thank
Wonderful.
you.
You're welcome. Nahla, shall we drink cold or hot hibiscus in the evening? Whichever you want, whichever you prefer, hot or cold, both work. Iman, you have another question for me?
No, I'm sorry. Thank
Okay.
you, Suhaila.
You're welcome. And Marianne, your hand is still up. You have another question?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, wonderful. So with that, we're wrapping up today's call. Keep the questions coming, keep the excitement up, keep the energy up. This is what's going to get you through it. Make sure you come into the group and introduce yourself if you haven't already. And some of you were still not getting emails. If you're not, everybody should be getting an email by now. Remember, the email is really important for you to check every single morning because it tells you exactly what phase we're in, what day we're in, what pages in the guide you're supposed to be reading, what the session is going to be about on Zoom. It gives you the Zoom link. It gives you the replay for the previous day in case you missed it. So it is a place where like everything is like there for you to start your day. And then you come into the group to ask questions and to find the motivation and to find the support. All right. See you all again tomorrow, ladies. Same time, same place. Bye.
Thank you, Dana.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.